the studios of KTEN Television. This is KTEN News at 6.
Right now on KTEN News at 6, alcohol ordinance. A Texoma town has the tough task of deciding where to allow open containers within city limits.
Plus, Amber Alert issues. People in one Texoma town want to know why they never received an Amber Alert on their cell phones over the weekend.
And safe at home, the latest on a 7-year-old Texoma girl rescued by police after being kidnapped over the weekend. KTEN News at 6 starts right now. Good evening, I'm Meredith Saldana. Welcome to KTEN News at 6.
And I'm Tom Crespo. The girl was abducted Saturday afternoon by a man police say forced her into a vehicle near her home, then drove off.
It happened in a neighborhood near the intersection of 10th and H Street Northwest. Police say an Amber Alert was issued for the girl Saturday night, and authorities and the community started searching. Officers say early yesterday morning they got an anonymous tip that a witness had seen a vehicle they believed matched the Amber Alert description.
Well, that led officers to a trailer home in Marietta about 9:30 yesterday morning. When police knocked on the door, they say a man barely cracked it open. One officer recognized that man from a sketch of the kidnapping suspect. When the man tried to slam the door shut, officers realized he had a shotgun. They fought over the gun, and an officer used a taser on him.
Police arrested 34-year-old Fount Dustin. He's being held in the Carter County Jail on kidnapping and first-degree rape complaints.
We have live team coverage tonight from Ardmore. KTEN's Marky Martin has been following this story. She joins us now live with the latest. Marky?
That's right, Tom. It's been a very long weekend here for the girl's family, as well as for the neighbors and community members who have rallied in support to find her. Now, today I spoke with several people who say they're glad that she's safe. They're glad that she's back in the custody of her parents, but that now the community is on very high alert.
Citizens' response helped solve this case.
Ardmore police say it was an anonymous tip that led officers to the trailer home of 34-year-old Fount Dustin Sunday morning. He's accused of kidnapping the 7-year-old girl outside her home on Saturday evening, then raping her in his trailer in Marietta.
They pushed back against the door. He produced a shotgun. At that time, there was a struggle over the shotgun. He was tased and taken into custody.
Dustin was booked into the Carter County Jail, and after being evaluated at the hospital, the little girl is now back in the custody of her parents. Now, family members did decline to go on camera, but I spoke with neighbors who say the entire community is now on edge.
Oh, super watch.
Family friend Jennifer Morgan says she was probably one of the last people to see the girl before she was taken, and now parents aren't letting their kids walk alone to the bus stop.
My nephews play with, their kids, and that, that's scary, because it could have been anybody's children, but that little girl, she didn't deserve that.
Neighbor Jake Gamble says he thinks the kidnapping was premeditated.
I just seen his truck over one time.
And now fears for the safety of his own children.
Why would a man do it to a 7-year-old girl? And I don't like what he did, because I've got 2 girls of my own, and stuff like that don't even go through my head.
One of Dustin's neighbors talked to us off camera. He describes the man as strange and not someone he'd ever let his kids be around.
He's just different. It doesn't surprise me.
And now neighbors say they're just trying to get back on track, praying for the little girl and her family, and glad that the suspect is behind bars.
I'm just thankful she's alive, and I know that that Jesus loves her and that we'll always love her.
Now, I did speak with the grandmother today. She says the 7-year-old is doing as best as can be expected right now, but she's tough. She's a fighter. She says she will make it through this. Now, the grandmother also said that Dustin had no relation to the family. They didn't know him as a friend. They never saw him lurking in the neighborhood. Now, the family also says they do want to thank the police department, anybody who went out to look for the little girl, but that right now they're just not ready to speak to the media. Captain Hamblin says that Dustin's first appearance in court will be this Wednesday at 1:30 in the afternoon. Reporting live in Ardmore, Marky Martin, KTEN News.
Police say almost immediately after the girl was abducted, a witness called 911 to report it.
And shortly after, it was confirmed an Amber Alert was issued, but it wasn't sent out to cell phones. And that has a lot of people trying to find out if something went wrong. KTEN's Rachel Salyer continues our live team coverage tonight. She joins us from Ardmore with more. Rachel?
Meredith, we're all accustomed to getting those Amber Alerts on our cell phones, but this Saturday, no one actually received an alert on their cell phone, and we also found out why. Anyone with a smartphone has heard the noise when an Amber Alert is issued, giving crucial details like the silver PT Cruiser kidnapping suspect Fount Dustin was driving, information that ultimately brought a little girl home to Ardmore.
It did work. You know, we got a tip from a citizen who said this guy's a little weird and he drives a vehicle that matches the suspect's vehicle description.
At KTEN, calls came in questioning why an alert wasn't sent to cell phones. Oklahomans and Texans have all received the alerts for other children.
I think there's a misconception that if you don't get it on your cell phone that there's no Amber Alert been issued, and that's just not the case.
At 5 Saturday night, Ardmore police received a call from someone saying they'd seen the 7-year-old being forced into the car. An hour later, the victim's parents confirmed she was missing.
Initial request for an Amber Alert to be issued was at 7:46, so about an hour and 45 minutes from the time they got the original call till we requested the Amber Alert.
With a solid description of the suspect and a witness to the abduction, all the government requirements were met for the alert. But there is a caveat for cell phone notifications, which must be issued by the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Oklahoma's Amber Alert coordinator joined us by phone to explain.
Policy for National Center for Missing and Exploited Children is that there is not a tag number associated with the Amber Alert, they're not going to send that message to all the cell phone users.
The Amber Alert coordinator also told us it took the state about 45 minutes to disseminate all of that information from the time they received it from the Ardmore Police Department. He says usually that process is a little bit faster than that. Part of it was delayed because it took them a while to obtain a picture of the girl. He said they are working on making that process even faster going forward. Live in Ardmore, Rachel Salyer, KTEN News.
Tonight, we're getting a closer look into the mind of suspect Fount Dustin.
And it's all from videos he posted on YouTube. KTEN's Alex Belzer joins us now live in the studio with more. Alex?
Tom and Meredith, the videos show Dustin hanging around at home, and in one he's driving. He says he's going to DJ at a birthday party in Decatur, Texas, and he's not sure whether there will be kids there or not.
Over here, got the moonshine, baby, over here. Got the tractor, get out of the way, out of the way.
Dustin introduces himself to online viewers as a DJ from Marietta. In another video, he has a monkey puppet as a sidekick. He's also seen playing on his computer, offering to sell his TV, eating donuts, and ordering donuts from a drive-thru. He appears most upset when talking about problems he says he had with a speaker he bought online for his audio setup.
If it's supposed to melt the fat right off me, 3 hours of working, and then before it shuts off and dies, no, it didn't melt the fat off of anything. All it did was cost me $177. Your damage right here.
There are no criminal listings online for Dustin in Oklahoma. However, in Gainesville, he was sentenced to 180 days probation on possession of marijuana back in 1999. As for this case, he did appear in court today, but is being held on a 48-hour affidavit. The DA's office says that will give Ardmore police more time to complete their report, and Dustin will not be allowed to bond out until after his Wednesday court appearance. His bond was set at $750,000 with a GPS monitor. Live in the studio, Alex Belzer, KTEN News.
Well, tonight the Grayson County town of Tom Bean will consider extending an ordinance dealing with alcohol. It's already illegal to have open containers of alcohol in public places in Tom Bean, but the new ordinance makes two key changes. It would allow for an exception to the law for events like wine tastings. It also makes it illegal for anyone younger than 21 to consume or possess alcohol.
Turning to weather, it's been an absolutely gorgeous day in Texoma if you don't mind the wind gusts.
Boy, we had a lot of that. We do have a cold front headed our way. Let's get a quick check of the forecast now with Chief Meteorologist Alan Mitchell. Alan?
That's right, and this air originated around the Arctic Circle several days ago. Now, obviously, it's modifying a lot as it pushes south, but still yet it'll be some of the coldest air we've had so far this fall season. In fact, it will probably end the growing season as a hard freeze expected, not tonight, but by tomorrow night into Wednesday morning again, a hard freeze possible as we dip into the mid-20s across a large part of Texoma. So you still have time to protect the pets, pipes, and plants as well.
Thanks, Alan. Still ahead, a deadly crash claims the life of a Texoma teen. We'll show you what police think happened.
Plus, the Dallas Cowboys head into their bye week 7-3. Now they'll get ready for the home stretch later in sports.
And Alan's back with the full forecast when KTEN News at 6 returns.